I've been running my creative business for 4 years now, and I've learned a lot of lessons along the way. I've had failures, successes, and made mistakes and grown a lot over the last 4 years. There are 4 big lessons that I believe were critical for my success. And today, I'm opening up in hopes that these lessons will serve you well when you're building your own creative freelance business. My name is Chris Pieta, and I run a product photography company and teach creative business online. So this video, I gave myself a challenge. I had to think back over the last 4 years and find the 4 biggest lessons I've learned. Some of these are obvious, but some I've had to relearn many times over the past few years. Others are not so obvious, and I think they will help a lot of people. Let's dive right in. Lesson number 1, you don't get paid for your creative talent, you get paid for the results you bring clients. When I was starting out in October 2019, I was looking all around me at the incredible photographers on Instagram and in Chicago. These photographers were world class. I messaged all of them and asked how they were able to work with brands, and some said the usual thing like work hard, do some marketing, and pitch yourself, but others told me that they were struggling to get paid or land any clients. And this was really discouraging to me because I thought all you needed to get clients was to be great at photography. These creatives that I was talking to were way better than me. And if they couldn't land clients, what chance did I have at landing them? But the more I learned, the more I realized it wasn't about the raw talent and skill of these creatives. There was something else that led to landing clients. Around this time, I took this massive online course that taught me sales and marketing specific to creatives. And I had this huge unlock. You don't get paid for your creative talent. You get paid for the results that you bring clients. If you demonstrate your value to potential clients, they'll work with you. If you present them with an offer that clearly shows how they'll have a positive ROI from working with you, they will hire you. Imagine a client paying you $2,000 knowing that they'll make $4,000 back from your photos. That's a 2x ROI for them. And this is a trade that every client should make. But it's not this clear on paper. Your job becomes convincing a client that you can deliver these types of results. Your creative talent does matter a lot, but if that talent won't bring results to clients, then well, it doesn't matter too much in the business world. And if you want to live your dream life as a creative, you need to know how to make money from it. There's a free workshop in the description that teaches you exactly how to do this. You can sign up for free today. So how do we bring results? Well, product photographers bring results by increasing sales for a client through their photography. Headshot photographers may need to niche down to bring results to a specific group of people. Maybe they'll discover that divorced people will pay a lot of money for a great headshot for their dating profiles. Maybe videographers bring results by building up brands on social media by creating short form content for them. I learned that I shouldn't pitch myself as someone who takes pretty photos. Rather, I should pitch myself as someone who brings results. Lesson number 2, everything takes longer than you think. I had to learn this lesson the hard way many times. I told myself that I was starting a business in October of 2019. And I didn't get my first paying product photography client until July 2020. That's a long time. Now yes, the world was shut down for a lot of that time, but that's no excuse. It still took me 9 months to land that client. And that's because I didn't know what to do, so I was still figuring it all out myself. I had to build a portfolio. I had to learn how to get eyeballs on that portfolio. I had to learn how to do sales to actually get people to pay me, and that took a long time for me to learn. After I got that first client, I landed over 20 brands as clients in the next 9 months, so things moved fast. When I was starting my YouTube channel, the same thing happened. It took me 11 months to get to 1,000 subscribers and get monetized. And at this point, I was uploading a video at least once a week. Doing outreach takes more volume than most people think as well. I used to think that I could reach out to 10 brands, 8 of them would respond to me, and then 5 would want to work with me. I was way off. The reality is you'll reach out to 100 brands, 8 will respond, and 5 may work with you. And that's only if you know what you're doing. At the start, my response rates were super low because I was making so many cold email mistakes. Recently, I made a list of all those mistakes people make when they do cold email, and the list is 17 mistakes long, and most people don't even know that they're making these mistakes. So what happens is they make mistake after mistake after mistake, and they wonder why they're not getting clients. They just assume that cold email doesn't work for them, and they give up. Now, that list I just mentioned is exclusive to my Creative Biz Launch students, but if you want to get a taste, you can sign up for my free workshop down in the description below. So again, everything takes longer than you think, and I didn't realize this for a long time. So I was actually making a huge mistake of waiting for the perfect time to start as well. Even starting takes longer than you think. If you're watching this video, I bet you've probably wanted to have your own business for months or years at this point. That's how I was. but I was too afraid to start. I was waiting to start. You can't wait. You need to get started. You're never going to be less busy. And if you can't handle busy now, you can't handle busy when you have to have a creative business with everything that it takes. Start before you're ready because everything takes longer than you think. Moving on to lesson number 3. This one you've heard before. You need to love the process. We've all heard this one before. Every successful person says the same thing, and that's because it's true. There's no shortcut to success. It's showing up day after day after day without seeing results. It's about doing the basics. It's about being consistent. It's about following the blueprint. We need to fall in love with the process so much so that the outcome becomes irrelevant. Some people get into entrepreneurship because they want the fancy cars, the big house, the luxury. The outcome. I'm telling you right now, the outcome won't happen unless you love the process. And when you fall in love with the game, with doing the actions every day, then the outcome becomes less and less important to you. You begin to love the freedom of entrepreneurship. You begin to love the challenges life throws at you every single day, solving those problems. The goal becomes the work. The goal is to no longer buy a fancy car. We fall in love with the work because we know the impact it has on other people. Steve Jobs said it best. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking. Don't settle. This way, you'll be happy no matter the outcome. It doesn't matter if you win. It doesn't matter if you lose. What matters is that you get to keep playing. The point is to keep playing the game. And as cliche as this one is, it rings so true. Okay, lesson number 4. Invest in yourself early and often. The investments I've made in myself are the greatest ones I've ever made in my life. I'm a big fan of education and learning new skills. Investing in online courses has been the most life-changing thing I've done because I learned skills that allowed me to start my own business. I've been able to grow my own creative business, and that's why I'm so passionate about teaching this stuff here on YouTube. I love teaching, whether it's YouTube, short-form content, through my newsletter, or through my online programs. I do this stuff because I know how life-changing it was for me, so I want it to be equally life-changing for you. I mentioned when I was starting my business, I tried learning everything myself, and that didn't work too well. But when I invested in online programs, everything took off. I learned sales and business, and a big part of that was because I invested so much money, I felt that I needed to put in the work. There's this saying that goes, the transformation happens at the transaction, which pretty much means that when you pay for something like education, you're telling yourself that you're worth it. You value yourself at whatever amount you paid. So a transformation begins. You start showing up differently every day. You work harder than you did. You work harder so that you can become the person able to build that business because mentally you've told yourself, I'm worth it. And I haven't even mentioned the knowledge that you unlock too. When you invest in yourself, you'll learn from the best people out there. You'll avoid the mistakes they made. They know what it takes and they'll share it with you. Right now, I work with a business coach and I invest in myself every single month. I don't think he wants me to tell the world how much I pay him, but he's charging at least 4 figures a month for context. This is a lot of money for me, but I'm getting a great return on that investment because I'm unlocking the knowledge and experiences he's built up building his companies. I'm also surrounded by a group of high-level entrepreneurs in this coaching group that are also building their own businesses. So for me, making this investment in myself makes total sense because I end up working harder to become the person I know I'm capable of. I get to skip past the years of making mistakes because I'd rather pay to skip those mistakes. We all have to pay, whether that's with time or with money. And when I'm 80 and looking back, I know I won't regret paying a few $1,000s to save years of my life. By investing in myself, I'm doing just that, saving years of my life, which is wild to think about. But since I made that first investment in me, I've never looked back. If you're someone who's thinking about investing in themselves, send me a message on Instagram @ChrisPieta and I can tell you exactly what I did and think of a game plan for you. I post daily content over there as well that talks about growing a creative business, mindset, and motivational content. Follow @ChrisPieta on Instagram. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.